G'day guys, and welcome back to another Wednesday night live stream. Great to have all of you guys here. Before we start, if you could just hit the subscribe button, like the video. When the video is actually finished, if you could lay a comment, because that helps with these algorithms they're doing. They've changed YouTube all around yet again. And also, if you could share the video, it would be really good. Also, we had one of our biggest streams we ever had last week. So if you could get hold of all your friends and family, tell them to jump on tonight and listen to what we have to say, and we'll boost those numbers up again. Last week was a fantastic show. So you can find Jason and my links to our shows and podcasts down in the description. So links to all our Facebook, Instagram, websites, and also our Patreons. If you would like to sign up to our Patreon to help us make more videos, that would be really appreciative. So we'll just bring old Jason in here. Good evening, Jason.
Good evening, everybody. What a week it's been.
Yeah, it has. We've got a lot to talk about tonight, just not the main meat and potatoes. We do have a couple of other stories, emails and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's been a very interesting week, and it'll be very interesting to go through a couple of topics here about duck hunting and the very, very disappointing Victorian government. Most people that know me know I love my bird shooting, and I've only hunted once in Victoria, ducks, many years ago. So shout out to Nick that took me hunting back then. It's probably back in 2011, I think it was. But I do get down to the Riverina to shoot ducks, and I love bird shooting, wing shooting. So we've got to fight, and we've got to fight hard. But there's some very interesting things to talk about, and some things that we've been talking about for quite some time have sort of been realized a little bit, but we'll go into that a little bit later. And it's kind of good, but it's kind of bad. It's honest, it's raw, and should be very interesting. So stick around for that. And as Aaron said, give a like to the video. It certainly helps. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. It has been a big week of everything. Another week, and I didn't actually get a chance to go out shooting. It has been that hot up here on the weekend. It was pretty bad. Just put it that way. You wouldn't have survived, Jason.
No, my mum's still up there now. They're getting ready to move down to about 3 months down to Port Macquarie. Retiring, so they're basically retired now, so they're going to be moving down there. Mum already tells me it's pretty difficult, trying to deal with the heat. I don't mind the heat, I just don't like the humidity. I went to Vegas, it was like 48 degrees, but yeah, no, I don't really like the humidity. Is what gets you. It was like last weekend, it was only like 22 here in Sydney. Oh, the humidity was like 80-90%, just absolutely horrible. So definitely not my cup of tea. Everyone's got to move south with the cooler weather, much better.
Yeah, we had on Sunday, it topped out here about 40 degrees where I live, and there's pretty bad humidity.
Yeah, horrible. I remember you call me sometimes and you say, you're out in the garden doing something or mowing or doing some work. You're sweating like an absolute pig, which is, like I said, don't mind the heat, just don't like the humidity. But looks like there's some good people in the chat. We've got 86, which is great. Let me just read out a few, Aaron. We've got, who we got there? We've got Nick Blackwell. Remember him from last week, the week before. We've got M. Gabriel, DJ Coops. Did we see DJ Coops? We've got Peter from the National Shooting Council, JSO AR-15 as usual. We've got our buddy. He's back again. Unfortunately, we're a bit angry with Andy 1234777. Old Daniel Andrews, not doing much for duck hunting, but thank God that's not the real Daniel Andrews. Decker Hex, our buddy there. He's back again. Long-range lead slinger. I don't know if I saw you last week. Not sure it was last week. Phantom HD, M. Trundle, Matt Cato, LJ's Adventures. Happy, of course, our buddy Happy Hunter as well. Harps 666, Rod Sweetster, or Sweet Sir, I should say, if I got that correct. Dirty Fox. I don't think I've seen Dirty Fox in. Of course, our buddy Chris Miller's back again from Victoria. We're going to be hunting on his property, smashing some deer one day. So, Chris, just get ready for it. You don't really have a choice, mate. And we've got our buddy back again. Our tech support's back again, Aaron. Tech support, the call center operator's got his photo.
Yep. So I'm just typing in an article in here for us to bring up. There's just quite a few people here. Retro, JSO AR-15. Seen him around the traps for quite a while now. Stephen, it's good to see new guys. Every week we see new guys. Our friend Panoplex is back. Chris Miller, of course, you said. Yeah, it's good. We're good to see new people every week. Keith Wheaton, I think we've never seen him before.
Don't forget, we've also got
from WA.
Our buddy Colin Penfold, also JR. He's a regular contributor and super chatter. So welcome back, JR. Shane Gibb as well. He's back as well. And it's going to be a good stream talking about some interesting topics tonight.
Yes, we are. So you want to give a bit of a shout out, don't you, to someone you deal with?
Yeah, I just was doing it on my show the other day because it helps us. This is not part of the stream, guys. It's not sponsored or anything like that. But these guys sponsor me for the podcast, and I've been trying to get the word out just to give them a discount from their website. So Camo Warehouse, again, not a supporter of this stream, a supporter of me, obviously, on my show. So it's not like sponsor for this show or anything. But yeah, just use AHP 10 as well. I've been forgetting to tell people on my podcast as well. So Camo Warehouse, if you're thinking about buying anything, just use the code. So you might as well get 10% off. Why not if you're actually going to buy something? Boots, archery, there's optics, there's heaps of stuff on the website. So camowarehouse.com.au. They're a supporter of my show, and Aaron was nice enough to let me do a shout out on his show, this live stream. So yeah, if you're going to buy something, save 10% if you've got a plan to do it. So yeah, thanks for that. Good stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I've been through the website before, and it's good, and they ship all around Australia, so definitely go take a look. They do have some really good stuff. And also, while we've got this screen up, we have for 5% ammo discount for all NSC members at Kilsyth Outdoor Store. So, yeah, all members will be getting 5% off, which is a great deal for all NSC members. That's yet another reason to join the NSC, who is a great supporter of the show, and they have made tonight's live cast possible. So thank you, guys, and thank you for helping Jason and me out as well.
Yeah, go and smash it too, guys. Head down there and buy some stuff. I mean, I think there was a couple of COVID cases just yesterday and a few this week. So, I think Aaron had a what would you call it, an email or something in your inbox, and someone was writing about how they had massive troubles, basically, with their business in Victoria, down 77%, and as of most recently, down at 90%. How can you run a business when you're down 90%? This is just, like I said, Daniel Andrews is still getting paid while everyone else has to take the hit, man. It's just heinous. The guy's an absolute bastard, in my opinion. So, remember, the election comes up. I can't believe if any shooters on this stream would be voting Labor or Liberal or National coming up in any of these elections statewide. They've done nothing. None of them have done anything for shooters. So never forget that.
Yes, exactly. And our very first super chat. Thank you very much, Lockie. Looks like I picked the wrong time to want to get into duck shooting. Yes, we'll be talking about this soon. We've got one article to talk about first, but yes, yep, I definitely do think, especially if you're in Victoria. But yep, I agree. It probably is a bad time to get into it. So thank you for the $10 super chat, guys. And if you got super chats, we will bring your question up on the screen and read them. And everything goes towards ammo costs and producing this show that isn't actually cheap, making all these gun shooting videos and everything. So talking about that, I've been doing an experiment this week. Guys, get in the comments and tell us what you think. YouTube have got this shorts thing where you can just make under like TikTok sort of thing, but for YouTube. So I decided to try and chop up some really old videos. From 8 years ago when I first started the show. I'll just take little bits out of them and bring them up each day. So tell me, do you like it? It's money made for your phone because it's vertical. But do you like the short little video each day under 60 seconds? I'll just pump them out every day if you like one a day. And then, of course, there'll still be longer videos as well that we're going to be making. But it's quick and easy, and you get a bit of gun content every single day. So tell us in the comments, do you like these shorts videos?
Yeah, let us know.
So
I wasn't sure if I was supposed to interject there or not, or do anything, but yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, no. Okay, so another thing quickly. Skirmish. I can't really. My Facebook isn't really working too well, but Skirmish Australia. It's a Facebook page. They have joined up it's a whole lot of skirmish and airsoft sort of groups. Even though airsoft's banned here, but we're trying to get it passed here in Australia, which is going to be a long slog, I think. They've all got together and started the. I've got it on my phone. I'll bring it up. It's about to die on my phone. Skirmish Sports Australia. So look them up on Facebook. It's a green logo, and they are a part of the Nsc as well. So they're actually being promoted by the Nsc, which is really good to see.
Yeah, Harp said he likes most of the short shooting videos, but Kieran, he said the videos are really good. Matt Cato said loves the short video, but the screen is too small. I agree. I think you got to try and do the thingy. I don't know. It's hard, I guess, to do 16:9 back into the long format. I think when you actually film them, if you're planning on doing it, you've actually got to film in it's just normal portrait mode, like up and down, not turn it on its side. So otherwise it just gets too small. That's what I will be doing when I make the actual videos for it. But just chopping old videos up, it's pretty hard because they're all filmed to lay out sideways. But unfortunately, that's something I'll try and chop them up into the portrait, but it is pretty hard because it's made for everything to be long ways. But yes, I will be filming. I filmed some with the Ruger precision rifle with the new stock on it this week. Not precision rifle, PC Charger with the stock on it this week, like that, and it came up really good. Yeah, nice.
Okay, JR, $10 super chat. Thank you very much, JR, regular contributor to the show. I know this is off topic. 3 members of the local club in Chinchilla have had their license renewals rejected and guns confiscated to prescription antidepressants. Yeah, so this is could be an entire topic. We get asked about mental health all the time. It's a bit of a touchy topic as well, really, isn't it? A lot of people have a lot of different opinions and very strong opinions about it. To me, I don't really think it should be an automatic confiscation because not everyone who's depressed is going to do something bad, and you shouldn't try and say that they're going to do something bad when they're not, because A, you could add to their depression, and B, 9 times out of 10, they're going to be perfectly fine. That's what I reckon.
Yeah, it's a show that we've spoken about before, and a lot of differing opinions between a lot of different people. Yeah, I mean, I wonder if it was they're self-notifying or they put it on their forms or what the situation is, or there's some event that causes an issue, which causes the police to be called, maybe something to do with it in a family environment or something like that. So, yeah, get them in contact with us. Let us know what the situation is if you're interested. And, yeah, we can talk more about it on another show, because certainly some people think it's, these people shouldn't have guns. Some people think, it's way overboard. Maybe it's a stressful situation where they need a bit of support for a while. I mean, a lot of different opinions. Maybe we'll talk about that coming up down the track. Yeah, well, I actually did a job with a shrink years ago, plastered their offices, and we talked quite a bit about it, just about stuff like that, because it's always interesting to learn about new things. And she said depression isn't what everyone thinks. It can be just as simple as someone having claustrophobia, and they just get a bit of anxiety being around small spaces, and that's not going to say that they're going to do anything bad at all if they have firearms. They just don't like being in closed spaces. It's a real big net to cast, I reckon. Yeah, exactly. And I think it's ET or ET Honorum said some older depressants are now being used as painkillers and sleep aids, and police just see them as antidepressants. So then they look at you as if you're crazy. Yeah, I mean, it's a kind of a hard one for them. I guess all they see is antidepressants. Well, they don't know you from a bar of soap like maybe your friends would or your family would. They know obviously you're no problem. You're just going through a hard time. I mean, that's totally different, I think, than the crazy person that actually wants to go and kill somebody. So, I think it's two totally different things. But anyway, maybe we'll talk about that one on a later show. Well, a lot of people get antidepressants, which is just calming you down after big operations. It just calms you down after having a large operation. It doesn't mean that you're going to be hooked to them or you take them all the time. So, thank you to Rob Bobs. Cheers, folks. Cheers. Thank you very much. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Really appreciate it. And we got another one here from Bryce.
Uh, $10. Thank you very much. Nothing beats sitting around the dam, side by side in hand, thinking of what you want to do with a duck for dinner. Yes, I totally agree. Yeah. Yeah, I've got my. I'm going to get my side by side out soon and do a bit of shooting. I haven't used it for a long time.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, no, it's going to be a lot of good topics coming up. We've got heaps of topics. I mean, maybe at the end we'll talk about, future topics, what you guys want to hear about. And like I said, if you're just joining the stream, make sure you hit that thumbs up. We've got 124 guys, and again, we've only got 74. Smack it, hit it hard, and thumbs down. We've got 2. It's our regular 2 as per usual. So don't forget, if you don't like the stream, hit the thumbs down twice. You have to hit it down twice. So so just letting you guys know that. But yeah, maybe we should get on to talking about some duck hunting, mate.
Yeah, for sure.
There first.
Yeah, you've got a couple of things to go over first. I've got another actual really big news article that came out this week. Okay, I got this email from a guy, Matt, this week, which is really good. I've been thinking of doing this for a while, pick out an email that's really positive and good each week and read it out. So this one came in from Matt. Hi, Aaron. I really enjoy your live streams. My son and I watch them over a couple of beers every Wednesday night in the shed, which is good. Every man needs a shed. They are a good mix of news/articles and gun talk. Some of the things you talk about I would have never known, like some of the recent gun bans. This week, my family's membership was up with a Queensland organisation. We weren't happy with them being mainly all talk and very little action, so we signed up with the Nsc. Keep up with the good videos. Signed off, Matt. Thank you very much, Matt. It's definitely good getting positive feedback like that. It's really good.
Yeah, no, it's always good to get good feedback from people. But why does he like your show? He should be saying he likes my show too. Why are you getting all the credit?
Yeah, it's true. Guys, if you're going to praise me, give Jason a shout out because he gets upset.
Funny.
Yes, exactly. So this week, this is something that happened a while ago. It actually happened on the Gold Coast as well. Years ago, I lived down there. I'll bring this up. It's just a news article I thought was very interesting. Unfortunately, it's from Channel 7. There we go. Prison officer charged over shooting death of Indigenous man. Killed in escape attempt. Well, why do they have to say Indigenous? That's just race baiting to me. A scumbag is a scumbag no matter what race you are or what colour you are. A jail officer has been charged with manslaughter after an Indigenous inmate was shot dead while trying to escape a northern New South Wales hospital. Dwayne Johnston, not on the Rock, a Wiggy, I don't know that originally name, man, I don't know where it was from, was fatally injured when he was shot at Lismore Base Hospital. Police say that the 43-year-old was attempting to escape the facility where he had been taken for medical treatment, early being remanded on assault charges. So, of course, he was a scumbag. Johnson was handcuffed, shackled when he allegedly elbowed a correction officer in the chest and ran off. It just goes on a little bit. Caught on CCTV. There was a 57-year-old guy, correction officer, shot him after giving a warning shot. Now, here's a good thing yeah, they seem to bring up. They're definitely playing the race card here, which I don't agree with because it's just race baiting and it's racist and it shouldn't be allowed by the woke Channel 7. The family goes on about saying Dwayne was has a funny, bubbly rascal who's a family man at heart. Yes, I'm sure his assault victims found him a little rascal as well, and they'll never forget the scumbag as well. So what an absolute beat-up story, and it's a real shame that this guy was now he's up for manslaughter charges for doing his job. So why give the guy a gun when if he uses it like he's meant to, and he gets nailed for it? It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I guess probably what they're going to say, like all self-defense cases, if he was trying to escape, well, he wasn't a threat. That's what they'll try and say anyway. That's what they'll attempt to pin on this guy, that, well, he was trying to escape. He wasn't a direct threat. You engaged a person who was a non-threat, according to the government. So anyway, it's a very, very interesting thing. Remember, you got no rights in Australia to self-defense. And even when you do these jobs and you're getting paid peanuts to basically do these jobs, you get reprimanded for it. But, also, too, you can't just go around as well, like cops as well, shooting people willy-nilly like they did in that Melbourne nightclub, remember, where the guy was fornicating with his girlfriend and he copped 2 shots in the abdomen and she got shot in the leg while he was getting a BJ. I mean, you can't be sort of doing that sort of thing. And then they said, well, we were in the right. Remember that? They said, oh, we were in the right. We disagree with this. Well, hang on. If he was in the right, why did you pay out like some $4.5 million then? If you're right, like whatsoever. If you're compensating a person $4.5 million, obviously you probably weren't in the right and you're trying to hush them, and they make you sign these agreements where you are no longer able to talk about it if they give you the $4.5 million and you shut your mouth afterwards. Again, it's all just corruption. I mean, same thing, probably Victorian police, probably one of the most corrupt in the country. Again, paying people out. They've paid out hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars in the last couple of years for their, nefarious acts over, which they things they just shouldn't be doing, and they have to constantly pay out. But that's all they do. They do bad things. They just pay out and hush, hush.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, well, we had a New South Wales police officer this week shoot his own co-worker with a ricochet. Had a tree, and they left a lot of details out in the article, but someone was saying that they were trying to shoot people having a bit of nookie in a car. I don't think that deserves to be shot at. I don't know the full story, but that's what people were saying in the comments, which is a bit rough if that's true.
Yeah, exactly. Did you get that super chat from Ian Carter? Oh,
yeah, it's on the screen right here. Thank you so much, Ian Carter, for the super chat, $10. First time watching live. Always a few days behind, but enjoy your work. Thank you very much, Ian. Really appreciate it. So it's why give them guns and tell them this is what they do? He's trying to protect the public with an escaped criminal who's up on assault charges, and so too bad, so sad, if you ask me. It's funny how all these news articles are always nice, bubbly, friendly family men, aren't they?
Yeah, that's right. Until they end up, until either they get shot or, you're on the flip side, though, if you're in a car having a bit of fun, you end up bloody getting shot. Like, I mean, we're just here to have a good time. Like, not really hurting anyone. They're just, minding their own business. But, we know they can't help themselves getting into other people's business. That's why they joined up the job, the cops, to get into people's business, to tell people what to do and control them. It's all normal, man. It's all normal stuff for these guys.
Yeah, Daniel Andrews says, so doing your job is an offence now. Crime have all the rights these days. Yes, they do. Yeah, we're one of the only countries where the victim becomes a criminal, and this is the exact thing. So he's basically being victimised now and become a criminal for doing his own job.
Yeah, very sad times indeed. But, again, I'm not even, after doing this for 10 years, I'm not even shocked anymore. Just nothing shocks me these days. We just go further and further, unfortunately, into, basically degeneracy, really. And, from both sides, really, from criminals and, the cops not being able to do their jobs properly and, paying out on all these issues that they've got to sweep under the carpet. It's a very, very sad state of affairs, and someone needs to clean it out.
Yes, definitely. These guys got to make a living, and if you give someone a firearm to use, you pretty much shouldn't be arresting them if they do something like that. Yeah, and here's a good one from Rose, our friend Rose here. Every time I see David Elliott on the news, it makes me so angry. That smirk, yes, but you all know. So, we haven't talked about David Elliott allegedly shooting submachine guns, which he was not permitted or had the authority to shoot, which could have turned in, you and me would have had a 14-year in prison, up to 14 years in prison. So you chased that up, didn't you, Jason, about this article, and just got the runaround by the New South Wales government?
Yeah, it's Yuck FoodTube says cops don't need a firearms license. Well, that's true, but in David Elliott's case, he was a former police officer, so he's just a civilian, so he's not legally able to shoot. I think it's a Category R restricted or prohibited firearm. So at the end of the day, he then blamed, the the corrections facility. Well, it doesn't really work like that. It's like saying, well, you know, if I had a gun and Aaron came to New South Wales and he didn't have a license and I give the gun to him and I go, well, I didn't know I was supposed to do that. I mean, that doesn't wash. We're not talking about your average gun here. Really, I don't really have a problem him shooting the gun. What I have a problem with is the hypocrisy from these guys saying, well, you know, he basically didn't really know the law. Well, he's a police minister. He should know the law. And if he doesn't know the law, well, that's even scarier indeed. But again, it just goes to show, you know, Berejiklian was covering him. She's the Premier of New South Wales, and he can do whatever he likes. I mean, he was caught a couple of years ago as well doing something in a motor vehicle, some, you know, I don't know. I have to go and I'll get more information on that for the next live stream. But the guy's been known a lot of the times to get caught up in things. Whether he's right or wrong in this situation, I think he's wrong. I think he should have been punished, and he should know what it feels like to be a firearms owner falling foul of these ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous gun laws. But, you know, of course, doesn't apply to them. And the rules only apply to me and you. They always get a free pass. And, you know, again, you can't beat these people, but there's no way to beat these people. They have unlimited amount of resources to do whatever they want to you. Yeah, it's not fair, but, you know, Australians, I guess we just put up with it. We're too nice. We just put up with it as per usual. And, you know, we're generally an easygoing bunch, and they take advantage of that, just like what we've seen with COVID, getting people to do all types of things and people complying with it. They just think the average Aussie's stupid, you know, and, you know, whether that's true or not, I don't know. But, you know, they generally do what the government tells them to do, and they just love it. They love it even further. I mean, look, they just voted, wasn't it? Is this happened a couple of days ago? I'm not sure if it's actually gone through yet, but they, you know, again, another 1 year of a state emergency in Victoria after, you know, 4 weeks, another 4 weeks. Oh, and then we'll do it for 6 months. Now it's a year. When's this going to end? He's a bastard, that Daniel Andrews. I tell you, I've got an absolute, he has got a place in hell, no doubt about it, a really, really hot place in hell. And I hope he goes there sooner rather than later. But anyway.
It's, the whole David Elliott thing, now it's just all been swept under. He's probably thankful that COVID came to wash this away for him, because everyone's talking about something else, misdirection.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, Chris, for the $15 super chat. Firstly, this is for the ammo fund. Secondly, I am buying my antidepressant on the black market. Good stuff.
I presume he's only joking, of course. He's only having a laugh.
Yep, that's what this whole show's about having a bit of a laugh. Now, I've been looking for this other article, and here's something I forgot. We have a bit of a laugh. It's sad, but it's funny. This here. YouTube prank leads to deadly Nashville shooting. So some idiot on YouTube decided to do a robbery with mug someone with a kitchen knife. So as you know, down in Nashville, they have freedoms, and they are allowed, their life is actually valued. So they're allowed to have a self-defense, concealed carry. So the guy pulled out a gun and shot him. 20-year-old guy. Shot him. So no charges have been filed at this time, which is great. What an absolute idiot. As I said in my article, the ultimate clickbait. You get killed doing something stupid. It's unbelievable.
In America, there's two things I wouldn't be doing in America. One would be attempting to rob people knowing they carry guns, especially in Nashville. And number two would be not breaking into people's homes. I mean, you're just asking to be killed. You know, in Australia, you know, when you break into someone's home, most likely, you know, they're going to have nothing for self-defense. So most criminals would be brazen and take the risk because they know there's no penalty if they do come into a property, unless maybe someone grabs a knife or something and, you know, that sort of thing. But in America, you don't know. You could be armed. You know, you might go to one person's property. They don't have a gun in the house. You cross the road to the next property and the guy's armed to the teeth. So most of these criminals, you know, tend to be very wary when they're breaking into people's properties because they try and get them when they're not there. Whereas I think in Australia, was something like 35% of people are home when they commit a robbery. So, which is even more scary. Whereas I'm sure in America, they wouldn't be doing it when there's people home. They try and make sure no one's home because, you know, they don't want to get shot. But there's plenty of people that thought nobody was home, have entered the property and you know, been killed doing so.
And this has always been an argument I've had. The cops ram down our throats. One punch can kill. One punch can kill. So if a group of thugs come in and you, for some reason, manage to get your firearm out, unlock it and go find the ammo, obviously when you're barricaded in a room, I guess, that's probably the only way you could do it, and you shoot a couple of thugs, but they're unarmed, you're going to get done. But hey, potentially one punch can kill. So they could just bash you and you're dead, which we know does happen. So all this crap about they have to be armed at the same as you can be armed, that sort of thing. If they have a knife, you can't have a knife bigger than them, or you're going to get done. All that sort of crap. But hey, fists actually kill people. One punch is what we're told continuously, aren't we?
Absolutely, yeah. Got a few people in the chat again. Sammy's back. Sammy Petrevsky's back. He's been a regular and a Patreon on mine as well, which is fantastic. Yeah, so we've got some good people coming into the chat, which is awesome. Maybe we'll get on to a bit of who we got, an armed society, polite society. Well, yeah, that's true. I mean, again, you don't look at the states when they've got more places with concealed carry. There's less gun crime and less breaking and entering. Whereas you go to Washington, D.C., Chicago, California, just to name a few, people are going to be unarmed and they can do pretty much whatever they want. And, there's not much you can do about it because they've got no guns to defend themselves, especially Chicago. I mean, that's just poor Chicago, just a cesspool of constant gun crime. No one's able to defend themselves and a lot of gang crime there.
And there's not even, I don't think in the city limits of Chicago now, there is actually any gun stores allowed. They've all been shut down. You can't even buy a gun in the city limits of Chicago, and it's one of the highest gun crimes anywhere in the world per capita. So Jesus, all this gun control stuff just goes straight out the door. You see, this week, Biden's trying to stop kids shooting guns over in the US, exactly repeating Australian gun laws. As I said on a American YouTube show a few weeks ago, they're going to bring this in. He talked to Scott Morrison. Next day, Biden comes out. He wants gun registration, semi-automatic bans. So now he's going after parents teaching their kids to use guns in the US. Going to make that an offence. So it's going to get pretty wild around the world. That's for sure.
Biden got out of his basement yet. I mean, it's so boring now. Donald Trump's not in. It's so boring. Like, the guy's just terrible. Like, he's got no testosterone. It's just low energy, low testosterone. Just not good. Not good at all. We want someone bit of balls. Yeah, a bit of balls. But hopefully Trump, he'll be back somewhere in some form on social media, can start, ruffling these feathers of these people again, which I really enjoyed.
Yeah, no, he was good. It was good while it lasted. So M. Trundle, if only our rights were as important as their pensions. Yep, exactly. So, yeah, if most of them are on welfare, and it gives them all the time in the world to come and do robberies during the day. Basically, it's their job, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
So taxpayers are paying them to break into our homes.
Yeah.
So let's get into tonight's topic, and that is the duck hunting season in Victoria. So as we all know, it was released, and it, not good news, is it, Jason?
Nah, pretty sad indeed, actually, like very, very sad indeed. And, a lot of people are noticeably upset about it. At the end of the day, obviously this has come back to the power of pretty much one or two people, really. It's Andy Medic from the Animal Justice Party, that scumbag. How on earth he got into Parliament is absolutely beyond me. But, they do have a preference voting system in Victoria. That gets most of the minor MPs in. That gets Jeff Borman in. That gets the guys from the Liberal Democrats in, etc. And this guy has done so much damage, so much damage in less than half a term of his first term in Parliament. If he gets in again, well, that's yet to be seen. It's just scary how much power this guy actually has. And obviously he's got Daniel Andrews by the balls. Obviously maybe Medic in regards to that has probably wanted a full duck hunting ban. Probably Andrews probably wanted to do that. Maybe there was a bit of stink, obviously placed from our shooting organisations. But ultimately it's just a terrible, terrible season. It's only 20 days. 5 of those starting days, You can't start hunting till 8 a.m. So that's obviously a major problem because, as people know, the very early morning, sun up, and also sundown are your very, very good times to go duck hunting. So in essence, really, it is a 15-day duck hunting season. I'm just trying to find out as well what species. They took a couple of species off that list as well. And I think one of them was grey teal as well, which is a great shooting species. Now, I've been driving around. I've been traveling around a lot. There has been so much water and the ducks are in excellent numbers. How they can even justify a literally 3-4 week season. Basically, it's really a 3-week season because you can't hunt until 8 a.m. in the morning on the first day. Plus, you're going to be hassled for at least a week or two by these, rat bastard, duck hunting, anti-duck hunting people. So really, you're going to, unless you're really hunting private property or you go where the ducks are, where these assholes aren't going to be, you're basically going to get no duck season. And some people are saying, I'm hearing from, Aaron's heard it from around the traps too. This is, people saying this is the last year of duck hunting. It will be banned next year. I really hope that's not the case. So it's just a sad state of affairs. You can't shoot certain types of duck. What justification is there for this heavily reduced season? Purely, again, I think it's just purely political. Whether Andy Medic has enough power next year to give a full duck hunting ban or to get Daniel Andrews to do that. Again, sometimes that's all it takes, guys. Sometimes that's all it takes. One person in power, one premier needing the vote of one particular person, and that can be the end of duck hunting. That's how simple it can be. And this has been on the cards for a while now. Anyone that thinks this hasn't been on the cards for a while now has been asleep at the wheel. In years gone past, some of our organizations have just accepted a reduced season. This has been happening for years on end now. It's just, I can't remember the last time, and maybe people can put in the chat, you Victorian duck hunters, when's the last time you actually had a full, solid, quality season with a full smorgasbord of ducks that you can actually shoot without, you can't do this. Eventually they tried to say it was because of our safety that they had to start, opening morning, for an example, where you can't hunt until 8 a.m. It's like, 10 a.m., whatever the time was. It's like, there's going to be no ducks around by 8 or 10 a.m. Maybe 8 a.m., but definitely not 10 a.m., that's for sure. Once that, sun gets up, they've gone to bed down wherever it is they're planning on moving to. So this bastard medic has a lot of power, and how are we going to combat that? I really don't know. And I want to bring up something, maybe we'll get Aaron's take on that, but I've got something here that I wanted to read out, which is, like I said before, is, it's truthful. I think it's honest. It's scary. I'm partly happy with hearing that, but also not hearing it because the person didn't stand up and at least have a go. But we'll get Aaron's take on it, then I might read it to you. And it sort of goes on what we've been saying for the last probably 6 months now. And I hope people will, understand what we're trying to say here.
Yeah, well, just to carry on from what you were saying about the ducks, winged shoveler, is it? Across Victoria, you can't shoot those, and both the grey teal and the chestnut teal, you can't shoot those anymore. So
the main ones are there. The chestnut teal is not really, I think, as far as I'm aware, more of a coastal bird. So it's the grey teal, and there was a blue wing shoveler. Yeah, they've been they've been banned for quite a while now. Not banned, but they always putting them on these species you can't hunt, which is, again, it's just ridiculous. But I want to see the science about how they came to that decision. So I don't know if there's a legal avenue. I don't know what the organisations are doing, whether if it is a legal avenue to take it any further. But yeah, people want to see the science. People want, and it's good to see shooters out there finally demanding from their organizations what on earth they're doing for their money. What on earth are you doing for that money, that membership money? This is why they're paying you. This is why they're a member of your organization. And this might tie back into the post I'm about to read in a minute about what actual power do we actually have? And honestly, probably the answer is zero. And this is and what I'm about to read in a minute really highlights what we've been saying. It's not a good thing, I don't think.
Well, you look at the post I put up this week about the gun ban and the other organisations not doing anything about, not even acknowledging there is a major gun ban that's going to affect a lot of people in New South Wales. Not even acknowledging it. I'm there saying anything. And the biggest comments we're getting, the other two main organisations, useless, pathetic, don't do anything, all talk and do absolute minimal. And when it comes to the actual fighting the government, they're not doing it because they don't. Basically, we all know if they don't want to bite the hand that feeds them, really, do you? So if they do ban hunt, like for starters, what I can see happening and what I've been told by some reliable people that I've been talking to, that Daniel Andrews is looking like he's going to do an early election because his polls are so up and down. So he's going to try and get him by the end of the year. And if he wins, God help him. So if he does, because he will get 4 more years plus the 1 year calling an early election. And pretty much that will be the end of it. That'll be the end of duck shooting. 2 bag limit is beyond pathetic. And was it 20 days was just, as you said, first 5 days is going to be a washout anyway. So basically a 15-day limit, 2 bag limit per day. What's the point really, eh? All that time going out there. So if this goes, if he gets rid of this, duck hunting is easy to ban. It's free to ban for starters. They don't have to do anything. And it wins over the general mindless public and all the city people because they see these cute little fluffy ducks that you feed in the park, and they can ram that down our throats by saying, no, look at us, we saved the little ducklings and ducks, we saved them. So it's easy to get rid of that. And once they get rid of that, I dare say from what I'm hearing, they're going to move on to public land hunting, and they'll finally get rid of public land hunting in the future, especially if Daniel Andrews gets in for another 4 to 5 years. He's got nothing to lose. He'll be set himself up for a big fat pension, so he doesn't care if he gets voted in for 3rd time, early retirement on taxpayers. So, and once that happens, and I hate to say it, the other states just follow blindly, and they will see this happen, and I reckon it'll be implemented in other states. We lost duck hunting years ago. I think it was under Peter Beattie. All wing shooting in Queensland banned. Our pro-gun organisations and our so-called pro-gun parties at the time, they didn't do anything. They made a little bit of a noise, but they did nothing. They never really stood up for us. So that was the end of that. And if they ban hunting outright in Victoria, who do you think is going to win? Who's going to be the biggest winner? It's going to be the SSAA, because now you have to belong to an organisation to have a gun licence.
Yeah, but most of them probably would be anyway, because they need their hunting genuine reasons. So most of them are going to be members of, probably one of the large 3 organisations, in Victoria. And we gave the benefit of the doubt. I didn't like it. Most people know my opinion on this. Like, I'm not backwards in coming forward on this particular issue. We did say when Jeff Borman from the Shooters and Fishers, voted for the omnibus bill when his vote wasn't even required. Maybe we gave benefit of the doubt. I didn't like it. I thought it was a stupid move. I don't know why you'd be voting with the Labor government, who's anti-shooting. There was nothing good there for not only shooters, but there was nothing good there, in my opinion, at all for the general public. Thought it was the worst decision he's ever made on that particular issue. But what we did do is we gave benefit of the doubt. Maybe he did a deal. Maybe he did a deal to save duck hunting. Maybe he did a deal to, continue with duck hunting. I mean, if this is the deal that shooters got out of that support, even though his vote was not even required, well, that's obviously not a win to me. Obviously, you can see that a terrible season. We wouldn't even call it a season. 3 weeks with, the first 5 days, 8 a.m. starts. We didn't get anything out of that. So even if there was a deal, we didn't get anything out of it at all. And this may be the end of it. I want to go on. You go first, and I want to read this. Facebook post.
If he did do a deal, right, do you not think that the fish and shooters would be jumping up and down saying, look at us, we saved duck hunting. We saved it. Love us, vote for us. Man, they wouldn't be quiet on that. They would be praising themselves like no tomorrow if they did that. If we do that, I'll just give a shout out to Andy. Don't vote for me. Yes, no one should vote for Daniel Andrews. Good stuff. Thank you for your donation. And Matt Caddo, everyone needs to fight this. Don't think that if they wipe out duck hunting, they won't come for whatever you love next. We need to unite. 100%, Matt. I totally agree with that. And thank you for your $10.
Well, I thought that too, but again, that's what pisses me off. I got friends, and I know Aaron knows people from Victoria, and they've got business going arse end out, and you got, pro shooting people voting when their vote is not even required for the bullshit omnibus bill. Like I said, and the people that did support him, right? The ones, the guys in Victoria got big businesses, big organizations, that were talking out about him, because I'm friends with a lot of them even on Facebook, and they're so angry talking about Andrews. And as soon as he supported this omnibus bill, silence. You didn't hear any of them saying anything about it. But I know they were pissed off about it, but they don't want to say anything because they don't want to upset them. They don't want to upset the people. They don't want to upset the pro-gun parties because they like them. So this is the whole problem. Anyway, I want to read this Facebook post because this is, I guess, raw, and it's a good, honest look into what we're dealing with in Australia right now. So especially, obviously, this is mainly about duck hunting. So this is from Tim Quilty. He's the MLC, Liberal Democrats for Northern Victoria. I know he's a member of the NSC, which is great, but this is a good, honest insight, maybe even to the detriment, potentially, of his re-election chances. So he said here, so the Victorian duck hunting season was finally announced, if you can call it a season. A bag limit of 2 ducks a day and only 20 days long. Yep, that's fair enough. I've refrained from I've refrained from pushing this the last few months because realistically, I had no power to influence it. If anything, if the government thought I was super keen on a duck season, it might have been one more reason for them to say no. I left the field free for other MPs that might have had more pull with the government. So he's talking about Jeff Borman here, no doubt about it. All been owed some favours. However, presumably that wasn't enough to sway them. The decision is the result of us being dominated by city voters who know nothing about the bush and think ducks are cute things you throw bread into the parks. I was always support hunters and firearms owners, but realistically, the votes in the parliament move further and further against us every year. The Labor Party is never going to support a full duck season and will continue to work towards a ban. However, even if the Libs ever got back into government, which I agree with this too, they would be no different. Chasing greenie voters from the inner city is far more valuable than votes from regional Victoria. Nothing is going to change while we remain captured by Melbourne. Anyone who wants sensible laws for country Victoria needs to embrace the idea of Rexit, meaning regional exit from Victoria, a new state created from the regional Victoria and New South Wales where we are not dominated by the city. And he puts a picture of the person, the photo they use for a duck hunting looks like a semi-automatic, I don't know if it's a rifle, but it's got a scope on it. I mean, totally ridiculous. But the main parts I want to get there is right here, really the second paragraph where he said, I've refrained from pushing this in the last few months because realistically, I had no power to influence it. If anything, if the government thought I was super keen on duck hunting, it might have been one more reason for them to say no. And so that's very, very telling there, guys. Again, and I appreciate this guy's honesty. I really do, because what we've actually seen right here is how little power our pro-gun politicians actually have, which is basically zero. And the fact that Tim felt so passionate about not saying anything because they might actually ban duck hunting is we are really in a terrible place, guys, a super, super terrible place. And this is good honesty I know I've never met Tim and never spoken to him. From what I understand, he's a pretty nice fellow. And what you've just read there, no politician generally from these major parties would ever write anything like this, ever. You've really got a bird's eye view into a guy that is not really a politician. He's just a regular guy. And what he's doing here is being absolute. And this is what we've been saying now for how long, Aaron? Probably the better part of 12 months, that a lot of these pro-gun politicians just don't have any power. And the fact that he was so worried that if he actually spoke up in support of duck hunting, Daniel Andrews might come out aggressively and actually either ban duck hunting or remove the season entirely this year. I mean, that's what we're dealing with. We just literally have no power. And this is what we've been talking about now for going on. And it just confirms it now from a politician that didn't want to say anything, because if he did, whether I agree, I think he should have said something, I would have stood up. But I can also understand the fact that you have zero power, absolutely zero power to do anything in Victoria. You have no balance of power, and you have no power to change the result from the government. So again, a really, really good insight. Unfortunately, a very sad insight of what's happening in Victoria. And it's a shame that our pro-gun politicians have absolutely no power. And getting on to that next part then about whether MPs would have more pull with the government. Well, we've clearly seen that the other MPs that agreed with the the Daniel Andrews omnibus. It didn't do any favors for us whatsoever. It didn't have a full season. It got ducks banned, that you can't shoot on that particular list, and a really shit house season. And I can understand the duck hunters of Victoria are pissed off to the absolute max. And if we don't do something now, what that is, I've got no idea, because you've just seen if a politician has absolutely no power to sway a decision and is frightened to speak out because duck hunting will be banned, well, then what bloody chance do we have, mate? A very, very sad state of affairs. And there's nothing positive about this post. It's not him in particular writing the post. It's just the information that we really already knew. A politician actually has the guts to say it. And the whole thing is just a sad fucking mess. It really is, man. And, I really hope they don't ban it. And this is just for people to get out there and start trying to do something, start demanding action from your organizations. But again, if a politician has no power, obviously, clearly our organizations literally have no power too. And where do we go from here, mate? I don't know. If nobody has any power to do anything, we are really just sitting, hate to say, pun intended, no pun intended, but we're basically just sitting ducks for these governments just to pick us off year after year, continually reduce the season until there's no duck hunting anymore. And none of our representatives will have any power to change that fact. And we'll just have to accept it. What do we do? I don't know. Let us know in the comments what you guys think. But, a really good insight from a politician about what's really going on down there in Victoria, who just basically says it how it is. And I don't agree that he didn't stand up, but you know what? I can understand it because, Daniel Andrews is just basically a lunatic. And if you speak out against him or you create too much of a problem, duck hunting ban, just like that, gone. You'll never be duck hunting again. That's what he could do if he had a bad day coming into the office. So I don't blame him. What do we do from here anyway? What do we do?
Yeah, well, I did talk to Peter from Nsc, and they said they do have one legal avenue that they're going to look at and a bit of a plan that they're going to try and implement to try and save it, which would be fantastic if they did. So I guess that's all they can do, because it's one thing about fighting a physical gun ban, because they pretty much roll over when you start showing the absolute facts and how it doesn't line up with the laws. It pretty much wipes it out. But hunting is a totally different ball game. That's a huge ball game. You're actually fighting individual premiers and MPs on this one. So it's going to be a lot harder to do than just fighting a gun ban, which 9 times out of 10 do get overturned.
And Tezza Shooting Peril says he shouldn't have a seat if he's not prepared to represent the people. I mean, it's it is a tough one, man. Like, I'm not there. I could only assume he knew. He's not saying everything in that post, but he had some sort of insider knowledge that he would have had to have, because why would he not speak out on that particular issue? So obviously, maybe, who knows, you don't know what these politicians say, in the halls of Parliament. Listen, open your trap and we're going to ban duck hunting. I mean, these people don't talk like they do behind the scenes, like they do on TV, guys. They're just like me and Aaron. They're just like people watching this stream. They'll be getting in there and have their little minions running around saying, well, if you do this, we'll ban this and you better support this. Otherwise, I'm banning that. What power do you have? And again, we've been saying this for how long, Aaron? Probably one whole year, that unfortunately our side just doesn't have any power. And unfortunately, the power now resides with Andy Medic and that Ratnam turd from the Greens, and they're dictating basically the direction of the government and policy in Victoria. So, but it's good to actually see a politician, because we'd have other pro-gun politicians saying the complete opposite of this. Oh, everything's good, vote for me. I'm going to stop the ban. Guys, we've got to get back to reality, mate. We're getting. Basically, we're not even getting lubed up here. I mean, they're just, there's no lube. We're just getting smashed at every opportunity. And instead of I respect him for being honest, at least, and telling us that, listen, we've got no power. There's no power for us to change it. And again, what we've been saying for how long, Aaron? Probably a good 12 months now. Yeah,
the government will never buy you dinner. They'll just fuck you. That's it. That's simple. And
a lot of people do. I love my wing shooting, man. But it just pisses us every year, man. We just keep going further towards this green shit, man. We just can't get a break. Gun bans after gun bans. It's like, man, come on, ease up on us, man. For Christ's sake, please.
Dude, coming into election, nothing wins the minds of the brainless city people who do all the voting is I've kept you safe. That's what I've been saying for years. And then we got our pathetic fake pro-gun parties who the only time you hear of them is at election time that they're going to do something, but they don't do anything afterwards. It's just pathetic. Like I got onto Borman's page and said, are you going to fight this? Are you going to fight this duck season to help everyone out? Or are you just going to stand with Labor again like you did with the Omnibus bill? Man, the amount of fishwits on that Fisher and Shooters page. Oh, he never did that. He didn't do that. Oh, no, he never stood with Labor. Well, I'm sorry, he did. It's that simple.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been doing that. That's for sure. I mean, just Andrews, I would have just been, but again, what if he says to the pro-gun parties, listen, you either do this. I mean, he doesn't need their votes anyway because he's got the Greens and Andy Medic, one person from the Greens and Andy Medic on their side. So he doesn't need our vote anyway. So any, insolence from our pro-gun parties in Parliament could have seen the end of duck season. What to do from here? I don't know. Let us know in the comment section. What do we do? I'm just it all leads to, really one road, and that one road is we've got no power, and that road is going to lead to a duck hunting ban sometime down the track, whether it's next year, whether it's the year after. And like, who was it just I read out before? Let's be honest, guys. The Liberal parties know better. They might be better than Labor, but they've also got to cater for their inner city greenies as well. They need the vote. It's probably not going to be any time soon that the Liberal Nationals in Victoria are ever going to get back into Parliament, at least not anytime soon. I mean, Daniel Andrews has killed 900 people after this COVID shit, and his popularity is rising bloody every day. I mean, they're happy he's killed 800 people. The Greenies love him. They think it's awesome that he botched hotel quarantine. I mean, Australians are dumb. They're dumb people. Sorry, they are. Most of them are dumb. These Victorian Greenies are dumb, and they'll follow anything that's in front of their nose. And unfortunately, that's not good for us, mate. It's not good for us at all.
Oh, well, they love the lockdowns because they don't have to go to work and they're getting free money from the government. Man, I can tell you now, when all that free money stops in March, they're going to change their tune, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. Someone put in a comment, just making sure, Aaron, before we go on, it's Conservative Sniper said, can't hear you guys. Are you guys hearing us fine? I'm getting it through from my end. No one else has said anything yet. So maybe your speakers might be a bit stuffed or something. Just check your settings. Can you hear us, guys? Just give us a yes in the comments. I think you can because no one said anything. So maybe it's just isolated to Conservative Sniper.
It's the only one I've seen of that saying that. But a couple of super chats we'll read out quickly. Adam, I'm a bit late to the party, but thank you for the shout out on the Skirmish Sports Australia. And equally big thank you to Peter at the Nsc for the incredible amount of support. It's amazing. I've got to say it's amazing how much support the Nsc is giving shooters and other pages and other people. It's just amazing. Okay, imagine this. A year ago, 2 years ago, before the Nsc arrived on the scene, would have been fucked. The other two wouldn't have done anything. The other two main organisations wouldn't have done anything. It would have been, oh yeah, okay, yeah, cool. Just don't touch our genuine reason. Imagine if before the Nsc, this would have been all done. Would hardly hear anything about it. Nothing would have been done about all these gun bans. Nothing would have happened at all because they had it too good for too long, just taking money.
Exactly. We're not going to hear from people say, well, they sponsor the show. I love this one. They sponsor the show. You guys know what we're like. If we didn't like what they were doing, and Peter knows this, and if he's watching, guys, we wouldn't be supporting them, right, if they weren't doing good things. I can assure you of that. If you know me or Aaron, we would not be supporting them if they weren't getting gun bans overturned. So that's why we support them. And, we're not going to give up, sponsorship and help from them. Why would we say no to that? It makes no sense whatsoever. We're going to support and, an organisation that we think is doing good things. Of course we are going to. Absolutely. Why wouldn't we? It makes no sense. I just saw this comment. I think it was on one of Aaron's. Oh, well, they're getting sponsored. It's like, okay. So no one else is sponsoring us. And we support the Nsc and what they're doing. It just makes total sense to us. I mean, I can't even believe this is even really an issue. Of course, we're going to accept sponsorship from them and we're going to support them because they're getting gun bans overturned. It just makes sense to me.
Yeah, it was on another guy's video in the comments section that someone sent me. But that's a funny thing. Yeah, they pay you, so you're going to say good things. Well, hang on. We've been saying good things about the NSC probably 8 to 9 months before I even ever talked to the NSC, before I even talked to them, before I even got a phone call from Peter and Neil Jenkins. I've been praising them, and so have you. Before we started the live stream, we used to do videos every 2 weeks on talking about topics, just like this, but pre-recorded videos. And we were praising the NSC for what they were doing and the inaction of the other organisations. Before we even 8-9 months before we even heard of the NSC, heard from them. Had any conversations with them. And of course, I'm going to take sponsorship. Go anyone else who wants to sponsor the show, come on board. Jeez, I've got bills to pay. I've got ammo to buy. I want to make more gun videos. I want to do some more stuff. Yeah, and it doesn't come for free. I've spent over $40,000 of my own money in the last 8 years making the show. Then I lost the entire channel and started again a year ago. So, yeah, no, I've spent masses of money on this, guys. So, yeah, of course, I'll take sponsorship money. Yeah, not a problem. I'm not one of these guys who just independent and not tell you that I take money and stuff and products. Yeah, I'm going to tell you exactly that I do and who I do take it from. So I do remain independent, and everyone knows that if they stuff up or their gun doesn't work, I'm going to say it, and I have said it. So yeah, definitely. I'm not shy about that.
We know they're not going to be able to, stop every ban. I mean, they just don't have the physical resources. But, from what we understand, they've got a very, very good barrister on it that's pro shooting and, kicking goals. I mean, look how many COVID licenses they got back for shooters. I mean, was it 3 gun bans in the Western Australia? I mean, I know it's an inconvenient truth, and I know the other probably organisations, not to name anyone in particular, probably wouldn't be happy with the NSC and the work they've done because, again, it just shows inaction on their part. Like, I get that. A little bit of jealousy, a little bit of upset. It's understandable. I probably would be too, to be honest, if, I had an organisation that had, funds to do that, and then this other small fledgling upcoming organisation just starts kicking goals and getting results. And people are just flooding in to join the NSC. And, you've heard from Pete, and we've got well over 1,000 people joining the NSC now. And, mate, crazy. Get your $10 memberships. Don't forget, guys, before Aaron gets in, AHP10 at your coupon code at the National Shooting Council. Peter knows as well. Sorry, my screensaver just came on there. But we've told Pete, listen, if there's something we don't like, we're going to tell you about it. We don't want any supporting gun bans. We don't want, but right now they're doing what they should be doing, which is fighting gun bans, and people are joining. They've got money. They've got a barrister on board. We might even have the barrister on the show and do some good questions about what the landscape in a court is when you're a barrister fighting these gun particular issues. But, we're not going to, again, I hate to repeat it, but we're not going to be able to beat every single battle we do. But, at least we've got someone on board. And I keep saying for years, I just wish we had, lots of money to put someone on a retainer, like a lawyer, and just to fight this stuff all the time. Because clearly, like I said, with the Facebook post from Tim Quilty, again, they don't have any power, guys. They freely admit they don't have any power to change the government. And we're 25 years almost since Port Arthur, and the best we can muster is maybe a few MPs in each particular state. It's not the way forward. Surely people can see that. Maybe if we had 15 MPs in Parliament in each particular state, then we're talking about a different thing. But, people are getting jack of these fucking duck hunting bans, and they can't shoot this duck. They're just I'm not going to shoot anymore. That's not the attitude we take. And saying one more thing, Aaron, before we go on further, people are saying, well, they don't like the GMA. I get it. People say, well, the GMA, the Game Management Authority in Victoria, is run by Greenies. Okay, well, not buying your membership. I mean, I'm even thinking maybe even next week I might even buy a duck license or hunting license from the GMA, because at the end of the day, this is what they want you to do. They want you to go, well, it's only a half season. I'm not paying a full fee. So then less people join. Then they go, well, there's no funding for GMA, which I can understand why you wouldn't want to fund the bastards with some of the decisions they make. But anyway, right? And then they got less members. Then Daniel Andrews goes, okay, well, there's not enough duck shooters, but we'll just ban it. So again, I don't think that's the way forward, not to buy your membership in protest of the GMA. Like, I get it. I'm angry with them too. I don't like it. I love my bird hunting, but at the end of the day, not buying the license is just playing into these people's hands. This is what they want you to do. So if you're outside of Victoria, get on there next week and buy yourself a game hunting license in Victoria, and show them that we've got tens of thousands of people that love their wing shooting, love their hunting in Victoria. I hope to hunt there someday, deer and more ducks, and I don't want it to go anywhere. So please join, because I don't want to give these bastards my money either. They're parasites, probably worse than the government with the shit they're pulling with this duck hunting season. But again, we're playing into their hands if we don't join up. Oh, well, 2,000 duck hunters, sorry. No, we're banning it. That's it. End of story. Bye-bye. And then we're just cutting off our nose to spite our face. So anyway, let us know what you think in the comments. I could be wrong, but what other options do we have? Political parties don't have any power. Organizations don't have any power. We're screwed right now, and I don't know the way out of it, unfortunately.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we had the same thing. We had an e-petition here in Queensland on bringing back public land hunting. And the government just got up and said, there's thousands of signatures, I think. And the government just said, not in our lifetime. It's never going to happen while Labor's in. Never, ever going to happen while Labor's in public land hunting. And so that was the end of that one. So that's how I think up here. So unfortunately, we're not going to really see it here because for some crazy reason, Labor got in again. So here's a couple of others.
Yeah, let me read this super chat. Is that the one from Chris Miller?
No, I'll read this one first. Overland 4x4, $79. Thank you so much.
Wow.
Sorry, I'm late. It's definitely dark times ahead for gun owners in Australia and even US now. Creepy Joe is in. I agree totally. I think they are going to bring in Australian-style gun laws, or at least give it a go, or some of our gun laws, at least give that a go. But yeah, it is dark times, but we always try and stay positive here, and keep
sometimes it's very hard to. Sometimes it's very hard to stay positive, and sometimes there's nothing to be positive about, to be honest. But we've got to highlight again. If we don't highlight this stuff, we're never going to be able to move forward and pressure our people that represent us to do something and try and get something, or at least admit we got no power either. At least let us know there's nothing we can do, and then we can at least accept. Maybe we can accept our fate. I don't want to accept it, but again, just to say things and vote for me or join our thing, we're going to do this, and nothing ever happens. I mean, no, it's just not going to happen. Bring up the Chris Miller one, because that's a good one.
Thank you, Chris, for this.
Yeah, he goes, we have so many, I'm on YouTube, sorry. He goes, we have so many ducks on our dams this year, our horses won't drink from it anymore. We used to have 20 to 30 ducks. Now it's in the hundreds. Looks like we're going to Victoria to hunt ducks on Chris's property.
Yeah, Chris, get your Cat C and D license. Lock and load.
Yeah, and then we'll have a barbecue. Duck hunting seasons at Chris's house this year. We know where the ducks are.
Bit of Peking duck.
Oh, it's good, man. It's good.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Thank you very much for that, Chris. Yeah, and Andy was saying he saw something about cats, and I want to talk about that actually. AJP even wanted to ban fishing. He also wanted to trap feral cats, de-sex them, and release them again. Remember that, to live out their lives. Absolute nutters. Well, look, there's 8 million feral cats, and every day, each feral cat, on average, destroys something like 20 native birds or 20 birds. And yet,
I don't know anyone that's not seeing a shit ton of ducks in Victoria. Like, show us the science. No. Show us the science behind this decision. That's what I mean. They're so duplicitous. They're sneaky. They lie. It's an abomination. It really is, this government. But we've got no one to hold them to account, because we don't have any power in government. We don't hold any balance of power. And like I said, you just heard from an MP in Victoria. It basically says we got no power. Freely admits it. And like I said, that's a rare snapshot on a politician that's not really a politician, that will just basically tell you how it is. And, I don't like to hear that stuff. It makes me upset and angry about the situation. But you know what? Again, it's what me and Aaron have been saying for well over 12 months now. And I hope by seeing that and hearing that, and it's starting to hit home, what we are saying is actually happening. And yeah, that's about it really. Yeah.
Yes, well, Chopper's right. Join the Nsc, best value for the buck. Gun owners can invest in. Join up now, boys and girls, and join up for $10 using the promo code shootingstuff25, all in lowercase. There's also one for Jason's, but just use mine. It's all right.
Use the shorter one, guys. Don't forget, use the shorter one. And again, like I say, when I say one thing about that, Aaron, is again, guys, don't let your 1 year membership and think that's the end of it. I mean, $10 does not go that far. Let's be clear. Let's be honest here. Again, join up again. Hopefully, very soon. They're going to start getting their genuine reasons in each state, and hopefully they continue their good hard work. Hopefully they don't, they know this when we say this, that they don't turn into, just basically, profit. We want them to keep fighting and using their barrister. But can you believe it, right? In 2021 or late 2020, mid 2020, 21, like they're the first people to really sort of be bringing a barrister on to be able to help shooters. I mean, normally previously, the organizations were very reactionary. So they'd only bring a solicitor in or a lawyer if they needed to. Maybe someone had said something about their organization, or maybe whatever reason they needed to bring a lawyer in. I mean, how come in 2020 we didn't have other organizations before this having some sort of lawyer on retainer? And if we've got to pay for it, well, I'm happy to put in some extra money per year to pay for that. I just can't believe up until 2020 we never really had that. We never had someone working for us. It was very reactionary. We only brought lawyers in if we needed to do something. But and even then, it wasn't being done. So, I can't believe it's just taken 25 years since Port Arthur for us to, basically have a lawyer either on retainer or that loves shooting, that's willing to jump in and have a go and have a fight for shooters. It just flabbergasts me, to be brutally honest.
Yes, exactly. And I actually put a thing up about inaction of other organisations this week, and a guy actually got on there. He wasn't being rude or anything, from Western Australia, and said in Western Australia, WSAA, he was at the AGM actually doing stuff all behind the scenes, and they aren't like other organisations shouting it out and telling everyone what they're doing. Well, I find that totally wrong. People want to know where their money's going, so you need to be telling and keeping everyone in the loop, because he said they're worried about, they don't want the anti-gunners to know what we're doing. Well, mate, the anti-gunners are in with the government. They know exactly what you're doing. You don't think they got leaks everywhere? Geez, Parliament House is leaky as a bloody old pirate ship. So it's you got to be telling your members what you're doing, where their money's going. People want value for their money. They just don't want to hear behind the scenes sort of stuff, do they?
No, exactly. And Rob's Aquaponics and Backyard Farm, I love that one. He said, don't use the code, guys. Help and fund the cause. Exactly. If you don't feel like you want to use the code and you want to, chuck in the full membership fee, then great, do that. Again, look how many COVID fines overturned. I mean, there's been so many positives. I mean, it's just, this is what we've been waiting for. We've been waiting for this, and finally.
And they've done 12 cases where they've actually paid for an entire court case. Paid for the court case. What other organisation can say that? I see other organisations saying they'll just they'll give you their lawyer's number. You've got to pay for their lawyer, but they've paid for 12 full court cases so far and won in court for people fighting for shooters to get their licenses back. And they're giving out free legal letters if you need to go to QCAT or any sort of tribunal. They give out the free documents, and half the time the letter will get you off from the barrister. No one else offers that.
That's what we need, a barrister. I mean, how cool is that? How cool is that? Finally, it's just happening. I'm excited, somewhat excited for the future. It does look dim sometimes, but, again, we've got to keep pushing back. I don't know why we don't have a team of lawyers on this sort of stuff yet. We've got to pay. We've just got to pay. Again, I can't believe we've left it to, basically very, very specific situations where they get lawyers involved, which should have been happening for years. But, it's all about money and profits. Unfortunately, it's not about shooters' rights, where, we've been doing this for years, often at our own expense. And, we've been saying this for years. People can't go back and say, I've changed. I mean, I've been saying this stuff for 10 years. That's a fact, So anyway, good shit, man. Let's finish off. We've got about 15 minutes to go. So what I reckon is we'll just start reading out people's comments, man, and going through all that, and we'll do a bit of rapid fire and get some of the people's comments up on the screen. If you haven't hit a thumbs up, guys, we've got 150 watching, which is awesome. Hit that thumbs up for us. Really, really appreciate it. Boost those numbers, and another good live stream. So we'll start putting people's stuff up on the screen, I think.
Yeah, tell us what you want us to talk about next week, because I hope like hell there's no gun bans between now and next week. Oh, and saying what about last week's gun ban? So far, the importers on the Predator shotgun have not received the letter from the weapons licensing, or whatever you call them down in New South Wales. They have not received a letter yet telling them why they've banned the shotgun. So it's all a bit of a waiting game. Hopefully we'll bring you some news on that. But don't worry, guys, the Nsc are the only organisation fighting that gun ban. That is going to affect every single state if it falls through. So
yeah, good stuff. I mean, geez, I tell you what, they must be bloody busy. They must be busy. Every week there's a gun ban, so I'm sure they're very, very busy with what they do.
Yeah, exactly. DJ Coops, club and open licenses need to be merged. I don't really know what he meant by that. Do you, Jason?
No, club and open licenses need to know. Sorry, give us a bit more detail, Coops. DJ Coops in the comment section. We'll read it out for you. I'll keep an eye on it here on YouTube. But good one there.
I'll bring some questions up for you, Jason, and you just read them out.
Yeah, good one there. Is that from Overland? The next one under that DJ Coops. Yeah. Yep, now that I own my own property, I shoot on that. And I've left the SSAA and joined another pistol club. But that SSA range now wants you to line up and they will check each of your guns. Well, yeah, not surprising. I mean, is anyone really surprised these days? I give up talking about those guys anymore because we just know nothing's going to change. So no real point giving them any airtime, really, is there?
Yeah, yep. And here's Karen. I brought a Ruger American Ranch 7.62 by 39. Very happy with it. Awesome rifle. As we say, that's the Australian AK-47. Cheap, and it's in the AK-47 round, but it's just a bolt action. Have you used American Ranch before, Jason?
No, I haven't. No, never used 7 point. I don't even think I've even shot a 7.62 by 39. So probably fun. This is another one I've got to put on the list to shoot.
Yeah, I did a CZ. It was quite nice years ago. Shot a CZ. We actually made a review on it on the old channel that we don't have anymore. But
just got another one here too. I'll read this one out. It's Fur Eater. Yeah, 100% NSC will get my $130 or more when they get a genuine reason. Well, hopefully we'll have some good news down the track on that. Hopefully they'll get a genuine reason sooner rather than later. I think the dominoes will fall once they hopefully get one in, maybe one of the states around Australia, and then that'll give them credence to start that again around the rest of Australia. But Fur Eater, don't let that deter you. Again, I know people get worried about genuine reasons and they don't want to join two clubs, but, come on, man, it's $35, man. Come on. $10 if you use the code AHP10.
Yep. Shooting stuff 25.
Mickey
doesn't matter.
D.
Yep. Find a lawyer that hunts. We have. He works for NSC. Problem solved. So,
I think he was in America shooting some guns at one of the ranges too. That's what we need. Someone passionate.
Battlefield Vegas.
We need someone passionate about guns. That's what it's all about. You can get a lawyer, but if they're not passionate about the cause, well, then you're really not going to get much in it, But if we do get people on board in future, and other organisations do, you've got to get someone that loves shooting, someone that loves firearms, that really not some idiot just trying to suck off, $100K or $300K or $400K per year on a contract. They've got to be earning the money. They've got to be getting people up. They've got to show results for their $300,000. We're not paying for loves and kisses. So.
Yes, exactly. I'm just going through some of the older messages here. Jeez.
Is that you? Did you write your own one? Did you?
Yeah, bloody oath. You can do the same.
Oh,
I'll even put it up for you.
I was like, is that a fake account? Like when you were looking a bit funny, I was like, what's happened there? Did someone create another Shooting Stuff Australia account?
Exactly. Here's one for you.
Steve Thomas, Andy Medic, and the Greens are vegan. They want meat banned. Yeah, absolutely, mate. These people are lunatics, dude. That Medic is a disgrace, man. You just listen to the way he talks, just like yeah, it seems like he's from the gutter somewhere, just a deadbeat. But anyway, again, this is what happens. Why can't we have the power for once? That's all. Like, why can't we just one time, but again, you team up with Medic, you team up with the Greens. It never ends well for shooters, unfortunately.
Yes, definitely. It's time we had a crack at this. All these lefties and all these useless politicians. It's time that we had a go. Share the love around. That's for sure. And what about talking about the vegans? The two guys eating KFC in front of the vegan protest this week. The viral video. Hope you guys saw that. That was pretty damn good. Of course, the mainstream clown media, they victimized them and got up the two young guys eating KFC. And because, of course, they can't be seen liking proper Australians, can they?
There's nothing like, I think even KFC man's got the, 2 large chips for $4, mate. Get on it. These guys were awesome. Again, these people listen, I don't mind them. If you want to be vegan, mate, you eat your own business. I couldn't give 2 shits. Just don't stop me trying to eat meat or me try to go hunting. You mind your business, I'll mind mine. As simple as that. That's all I'm asking for. But this is the thing. These people are crazy. They're lunatics. They want to control you. They want to tell you what to do. They get off on it. This is how crazy people act. This is why when you go full socialist commie, you start wanting to rule people's lives. You get off on it. That's the whole point. Whereas most people just want to be left alone.
Yep, exactly. We need a meat company to sponsor the show, I reckon. That'd be good.
Orange Star says ban the vegans. And if I could, hey, what do they always say? How do you know someone's vegan? Don't worry, they'll tell you.
Every 5 minutes. Yeah, see, veganism is a mental disease. It makes your brain smooth, and it's a serious mental disease. You definitely can't be a vegan, that's for sure.
What does it do? Makes your brain what? Smooth?
Yeah, that means you're a dead shit dumb fuck. Window licker, a smooth brain idiot. Here we go. Peter, I'm glad you got a sponsor. I think every firearms company in this country should be sponsoring this great show. Keep it up, boys. Thank you, Peter. Yeah, well, we know that's not going to happen after we talked about that the other week and about them. And I actually talked to the sales rep of Ray Trade and told him what I thought of their company. So I definitely don't think I'll be getting sponsored by Ray Trade. I can tell you that now. And Marlin in Remington. That's for sure.
Well, there's plenty of good people out there, man. Plenty of good people out there that like the truth being told, and hence why this stream's been working and it's been picking up every week. And obviously sometimes it's topic dependent, but it's been a good part of the live stream, yeah.
And here's Big Joe, just joined the Nsc. Good stuff, Big Joe. What promo code did you use?
Big toe.
Oh, I just got Joe on my mind. Creepy Joe.
You know what I'm going to do? Send you back to Specsavers, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I gotta get some new glasses. I broke my other ones this week.
As they say, up the prescription. You know what I can do? I can actually send you up a couple of 300ml Coke bottles, and you can use the base of the Coke bottle if you want.
Yes, exactly. Actually, my long distance vision's actually getting better now. I don't know why. Guess that happens when you get older.
All right, who's this? Doit Bag. Sorry, Andy Medic received 12,736 folks from people who actually voted for him, and over 78,366 of the people's votes were given to him from preference deals, unbeknown to the voter. Hardly voted in. Yeah, I agree. But again, sometimes it's true. I 100% agree with that. But again, the same thing, it doesn't matter why he's there. The fact that these guys can do significant damage, especially when they have balance of power like Andy Medic has with the Greens. Perhaps they couldn't get a full ban through this year. Might not have looked good politically. A lot of angry shooters out there, a lot of angry hunters. But next year, will we have a duck season? Time will tell. I really hope we do. But again, we've got to get on board. We've got to work together. We've got to get the organizations. Again, what do we do to have some power? Where's the legal? Show us the science. Do we have a legal avenue? I don't know. Do we have a legal avenue at least to get the science? Give us the documentation that led to this decision. But you'll know it's bullshit. It's bullshit. It's all politics. It's that bastard medic, and you know what? He's done a number on us. You got to admit when you've been dominated by that bastard medic, and this is one of those times. I hate to say it, but it's one of those times. And, again, the organizations finally got to get together. We waffle on the internet because we don't have any power. These guys have the money, the resources, and the membership money to actually do something about it, to force the government to show their science. Where is it? What's happening? It's okay to do a live stream on the internet. Like I've even seen a couple out there now from these organizations in Victoria. It's okay to do a live stream, but how does that help people? How does that make a change? We're just giving you the information. We've got no money to fight it. That's what the organizations, that's literally why they're there. That's literally their purpose. It's their purpose to advocate for you. That's what they're there for.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen next year. My prediction is it's going to be smaller. If it's not gone next year, it's going to be 15 days, I dare say. 15 days.
Yeah. Let's rapid fire, dude. Smash it. Let's go. Let's give back to some of these awesome people in the chat and smash ones we've got there. Peter Zabradek said, Peter from NSC says, Medic said he was proud his 2 kids were, oh, okay. Well, oh, shit.
Go on, say it. Don't be PC. No more. Remember what I keep telling you? No more PC AHP.
Hey, I'll let you read that one, man. Okay, Medic said he was proud of his 2 kids were transgender. For fuck's sake. Well, again, I mean, I'm of the business. You leave me alone. I'm willing to leave you alone. I don't want any beef with these people. Just leave us well enough alone and piss off, and we'll just do our own thing. But like I said, guys, they can't. They've got to be in your life. They've got to be dominating, telling you what to do. They love it. They love the power. They're sick people. They're sick.
Exactly.
Let's go. Let's smash them up, dude. Let's hit them hard.
Aaron, do your scope optics have better prescription lenses? Well, I look a bit odd wearing night vision goggles or something around, or during the day.
No, what he said was, "Do your scope optics have prescription lenses?" Sorry, I was like, "Well, mate, put it this way, they bloody should. I'm bloody should. I tell you when he bloody reading."
No, just remember our little 2-4-3 contest and what happened there.
Anyway, let's more, man. Let's go. 2 more minutes. Let's go. Hit them hard. Let's give these people out there back for their buck.
People have stopped writing their comments. Write more comments, guys.
Anyway, no, that's good anyway.
Yep.
Captain. Hey, Captain Caveman, shut your pie hole for a sec. Great work and show, boys. Let's all get behind the NSC. I'm joining after this live stream. Good stuff. Liam Cumbo, pissed me off. That Juff doesn't get off his ass and put legislation to protect duck hunting. I presume he's talking about Jeff from the SFB. Well, I'd like to know what they're doing. But again, we've already had one poly say they don't have any power and was scared to speak out because they thought, by speaking out, they'll just screw duck hunters. Like, I get it. That's, again, I keep saying these organizations and political play off like they've got a lot of power. Telling you the facts, though. I wouldn't, if I've got to go down to the voting booth, I'm going to vote for someone because, I know Aaron doesn't want to, and that's fine. That's up to him. But if I'm going to be down there, I might as well. But again, I'm not under the illusion that it's going to change anything. Surely we've developed that over the last live streams for the last 6 to 8 months. And it's all starting to happen right in front of our eyes, which is scary. Nick Blackwell said, went bush on the weekend a few weeks back, had to stop a few gatherings of ducks on the road. There's a lot out there, Matt. There is heaps out there.
Yep, definitely. It's all I'm hearing. Massive breeding season, huge public season, breeding season.
Let's go. Matt Rumsey said all feral cats should be eliminated. Yes, all cats.
Yeah, even domestic cats in your back lawn.
Just don't shoot them when they're in your back lawn, guys. Make sure you follow the law. We're not advocating for any law breaking whatsoever.
Yeah, I think people use aspirin and a can of tuna. That does the trick, from what I hear.
What else we got there?
Okay, well, I've just lost everything above it that I wanted to bring out. Here we go. I'll go down more new comments. Hang on.
Here we go. Adzi, I got this one from Adzi before. We're going to finish and we've got 2 minutes. But Adzi's, the PWC bloke, said 16,000 new license applications in New South Wales in 2020. That's healthy growth, and they all should join the NSC. If that's gun licenses you talk about, which I probably think you are, but I think it's way more than 16,000, to be brutally honest. If you've got anything that says 16, let us know. I know they do put stuff on their website. from the registry. But yeah, 16,000 is good. Let's up that to 32,000. 64,000. Let's hit it hard. Get your gun license. Get out there and go shooting. Get your hunting license. Doesn't matter what state you're in. If you can go public land, private land, get on it. Get out there and have fun. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, definitely.
Anyway.
Let's call it a night. It's been a great night, guys. And thank you for joining us again. And we will be back on next Wednesday night. Thank you for being here and listening to us talk. Remember, join the NSC and use the promo code shootingstuff25 or AHP25. And that'll get you your first year for $10, which you can't go wrong. And find us on the social medias, and I'll be putting out more of these shorts videos because I'm absolutely flat out right now in life and I haven't got time to edit some of the bigger videos. I'm slowly editing them, but I'm going to put a few of these shorts out and see if they get picked up. One of them got picked up quite well this week. Yep.
One thing before we finish, don't forget, this is the last chance, guys, to give us the thumbs up if you enjoy the stream. There's 3 unhappy people in there. We always get that, but thank you for your view as well. Hit it. Let's smash it, guys. Let's get it at least to 175. Come on. Maybe even 200. We should be getting this to 200. So if you haven't hit thumbs up by now, get us to at least 175 to 200. Come on. You can do that for us. Anyway, let's finish it up.
Yep, and definitely subscribe to the channel. And you can find Jason and me if you like our content on Patreon as well. So that always goes $5 a month, goes a long way for us. So thank you very much for joining us and have a good and safe week and hope you get out shooting this weekend. Good night and thank you.